Welcome. So again, we're in this series which is about settling ourselves down or coming to a deeper level of settling one step at a time. They're not one after the other, they intersperse with each other. And so we are looking at pausing and listening and accepting what we hear in the listening, and when we look back, we'll find that we've settled more. And today's theme for this step into settling when the opportunity turns up in our life is to make change a plus. So if we want to embrace change and know that it's a good thing for us, it'll have a much more settling effect than if we don't want to and try to resist change. So about change. We have little say about our physical change. For example, we move from babyhood to adulthood, and we have little say about that physical dimension. We can do things to heal it or do damage to it, but on the basics, we have little say about the change that happens, that lots of the change that happens as we move from babyhood to adulthood. So, in this diagram, I'm looking at physical change as being something that we haven't got any say about. But all of us underneath, in some way, you may use different words, have a desire for more. It may be a desire to be happier or freer or at peace, etc., 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 etc. It's individual to each person, and it's different at different times of our lives. And we have a lot more say about this more drawing us forward beyond where we are. And that more involves our response. We can say yes or no. And what are you saying yes or no to? To inner invitations. And they come along over and over in our everyday life. We mightn't call them invitations, but they're there day after day. And there are many ways that we know that we have these invitations in our everyday experience. And the way that that happens is through tingles, clangs, niggles and nudges. Those are my ways. You might call it intuition or sensing or some other way or word. And when these inner invitations arise, then we can say no. And if we say no, there's affect and effect. Affect is the feeling, and effect is in our muscles and nerve endings and other changes within our whole body. And I've put this up so we can see that it's an individual affect and effect for everyone. And even though all their thumbs are pointing down, they're slightly different in the effect. And the affect is obvious by looking at the expressions on the faces. And if we say yes, for these two, we can see there's affect and effect. Okay, really different from when one says no in the affect and the effect. This desire for more is an inbuilt system. And the plus affect is that we have a sense of aha or settled, however you would express that. But that's there, right there for us. And the plus effect is that inside us we can accept more positively things about ourselves, and then that spins out to life. So whatever your flavour is, we need to say yes as often as possible to inner invitations when those invitations are for growth, so that we have an effect and affect which takes us into more settled. And so At this time, we paused and listened and accepted a roundabout what would help us to be more settled as we embrace change, or view it as a plus.